So you were working, and I think there's a little bit, I have a little bit of your backstory. And I remember in that our first conversation, it seemed like it was almost similar to what a lot of people were going through during the pandemic in terms of the Great Resignation, but you termed it something else. If you don't mind sharing how you termed it and what you thought that was, because I think that's very similar to what you may have been experiencing in 2018 that prompted you to go to Urbana.
Yeah, so I think what I have looked at in the past couple of years of the Great Resignation, and a lot of my leaders ask me about it. You know, they're all trying to figure out why we're quitting what we're doing and trying to get inside our heads. And I was sitting with my president, and he asked what I thought of the Great Resignation, and I just said, I don't really see it as a great resignation, because it's not like we're all just quitting. It's not like we don't want to work, but it's more of a great reevaluation where a bunch of us have gone through a collective trauma, and we are sitting back and saying, is this really what I want to be doing? Am I really getting out of this what I need? And we're pivoting. So it's not us running away and resignating. It's really people sitting back and saying, what is valuable? And how do I want to live my life? And what's important to me? And we're reevaluating the hierarchy of what's most important and what motivates us.
Awesome. And so it sounds like a lot of you were kind of going through those aspects of that reevaluation in 2018, and that kind of motivated you to go to Urbana 2018. So tell us, when you went there, what happened? Like, what did you experience that kind of started to answer those questions, maybe put you on a path? What were some of the highlights of your experience there that pushed you forward?
Yeah, I think there's two things that I think about when I think about the 2018 Urbana. And one of them is how I personally am dealing with cultural Christianity versus what I believe is the gospel. And then the second would be, what am I doing with my career? And how am I using my career? And what am I doing here? So I'll talk a bit about the career move, and then if you want to talk about the cultural, we can touch on that. With the career, I've worked in a food company. Obviously, food security is something that I think is very tied into the gospel. I think it's something that we ought to care a lot about. And so I went to a couple different seminars, and I was just looking for anything that was connected to agriculture, anything connected to the dirt all the way to people's mouths. And I went to one in particular, and I'm so sorry, I cannot remember his name. He worked for a university up in Canada. And
okay, excellent.
Do you know who it is?
No, but at University Canada, they're a co-host. So I love the shout out to them.
Yes. He was great. And I sat with his daughter for a long time, and I just loved talking to her because she was thinking the same way I was thinking. But yes, went to his seminar and was like, oh my God, exactly. This is what I want to be thinking about. This is what I want to be talking about. And caught him afterwards and was like, loved what you talked about. This is what I'm doing. What should I be doing? Do I need to quit and go, build a farm? Should I, be doing this? Do I need to pivot? Do I need to work at a soup kitchen? Like, how? I'm not doing anything. Mm-hmm. And he actually gave me some surprising advice, which was, keep doing what you're doing. You're in the food system. You're part of this system. Your job is important. Keep moving forward. And one of the quotes my mother says that I love is, don't uproot in fear what you have sown in faith. I don't know if she coined that. I don't know where that came from, but it's just the idea of don't freak out and start uprooting everything. And so I took his advice and I went back to work and really put my head down with the focus on, okay, how is this going towards kingdom? And actually within a couple months, a job opportunity came up that was in our international department, was working on our brand. So it was more of a marketing role and puts me into a very high level of being able to see the food system. So I interviewed for that job, was very underqualified, got it. And that's where I've been ever since. And it's been amazing because the insight and understanding that I have gotten in being in this corporate role has developed me in a lot of ways where I can show up in rooms with my agenda, but also God's agenda, to make movements. So I've been very, very appreciative for that experience and how I can continue to use that in addressing food security.